I cannot believe we have to talk about this again. We already went through this. We already told everybody about mask wearing. Dr. Fauci has been educating people, and there is a subset of Americans who have a listening problem. It's like their ears don't work or their brain doesn't work. They don't want to wear a mask. Uh, they have to be told what to do by the government. Otherwise, they want to just go do whatever they want. They don't care at all about their fellow Americans. They just, they only care about themselves. They care about their medical autonomy. Oh, I don't want to take this thing that will save everyone. I just want to go drink beer and hang out in close contact with other people and disregard all the safety guidance, all the information. They just don't care. If you are in public right now not wearing a mask, then you should be subject to a mandate, especially if you're unvaccinated. The number one threat facing America is white supremacy. The number two threat is unvaccinated people who refuse to wear a mask. Um, let's see. Yes, see, I'm not just making this stuff up, okay? I just wanted you guys to see that the president is um, trying to highlight some of the most important things that we could be addressing. Um, America is filled with white supremacists. Um, it's disappointing. It just seems like white people cannot. They have some evil inside of them that makes them want to be supremacist, and I don't understand it because no one else has that. It's only white people. All other races could get along just fine. The world would be complete harmony and beauty and birds chirping, but because of white people, we have racism, we have war, we have famine. Uh, you see all the theft that happens in cities, gun violence. It really makes me embarrassed of the people that look like me. Sometimes I wake up and I look in the mirror and I say, JW, you're the only decent person who looks like you, based on skin color in existence. And, it's just hard to cope with. It's, I mean, to be honest, I wear the mask to protect myself and my health. And I think that everybody should, and I think that anybody who doesn't want to should be forced to. But I also wear it so I don't have to look at myself in the mirror. Because you have no idea how hard it is to look at yourself and say, man, you just look like pure evil incarnate. And it's primarily the skin color. I mean, I do have beady eyes and they kind of look evil, but it's primarily just the white. The white skin is something that I have to live with. It's it's my burden to bear, and I deserve it, frankly. But anyway, let's just try and deal with it, and internalize it, push it down, and never talk about it again. That seems to be. I tried going to therapy. That just didn't work because talking about it, it's like every time I talked about it, I got triggered. Whereas if I just ignore it and push it down and never talk about it and never think about it, that seems to be way easier than actually like addressing it head on. I don't want to address it. I certainly don't want to resolve it. There's no resolving it. It's something that we should always be focusing on. We should never move on to anything else. Um, and I mean, the government shouldn't have to tell you guys to wear a mask. Again, we've been through all this. You can easily look up, if you pay attention to the news at all, this was August 31st. Is it time to start wearing a mask? Then we move on, and this is August 29th. Is it time? I mean, why are we asking these questions? Now we're getting somewhere. Masks are back on the table. Thank you. And they should be on your face. I don't know why we're putting them on a table. Doesn't make any sense. CNBC, when to wear a mask as COVID cases rise. I mean, they wouldn't be rising, and we wouldn't have to ask these questions if people would just do it. You know, if you would just wear the mask. Put the mask on. How hard is that? Are you kidding me? You know, I don't understand. Joe Biden is wearing a mask. If the president can do it, he's 89 or 100 years old. If he can do it, you can do it. You know, I don't want to hear this, oh, it restricts my breathing. Like, that is you just making up excuses because you don't like your grandparents. Anyway, more importantly, the masking, I think we're going to get that under control. We can easily put these mandates back out, force people to put them back on. A lot of people are good Americans who are putting these on. Um, oh, at some point we're going to talk about the border crisis, and it's really upsetting to me to see these people coming into the country without a mask on. We're not giving these people the the appropriate protective equipment when they come in this country, and that is starting off on the wrong foot. Do you think that they traveled as refugees fleeing persecution from all over the globe? Do you think that they, arrived here with a mask? No. We need to be equipping border control agents with backpacks full of masks so that when they cut the fences to let people across, they can also give them a mask. Um, and I mean, frankly, I don't know why we're making them cross. We could set up shuttle services. Um, we have plenty of buses in the U.S. Um, I don't know why we can't just bring some of them down and start a bus route. You know, wouldn't that make sense? Instead of making these people walk and carry their belongings, is that how you would want to enter the country? Would you feel good about that? Oh, yeah, America's great. I had to walk here thousands of miles. That's not a display of greatness. That's pathetic. If America wanted to show how great we were, that we are, we would have bus routes going across the border that were, running on the hour. So anyone who wanted to get on, no pass needed, no fare, just get on and come to America. Um, we're Corporations are global. It's time for government to become global, and we need to get rid of borders in order to do that. So I'm excited to see that the Pentagon is weighing in on how to properly raise your child. They've been collecting our data and monitoring life in America since the Twin Towers in 2001. They signed the Patriot Act, wiretapping, all kinds of stuff. They started aggregating our data. Snowden decided that he wanted to be a white knight and blow the lid off one of the most important surveillance programs that the government's ever set forth. He did not clearly understand that the goal of this program was to improve parenting in the United States. The Pentagon has been collecting data and monitoring what you are doing wrong raising children for the past 22 years, since 2001. They've got 22 years of data, and you've got nothing. You've got a crib and a room that you painted, some color and hung a spinny thing, the thing that does the turns around and plays music, and the kid looks up at it, and you stuck some stars glow-in-the-dark stars when the lights turn off. You suck. The Pentagon is a trillion-dollar, multi-trillion-dollar operation. Thousands of employees work here. They know a lot more than you. And you and your little infantile attempts at raising children are obviously failing. Look at the state of our society. People are not listening. People are spreading crazy rumors about all manner of nonsense. I mean, conspiracy theories are getting out of control. Elon Musk and whoever the a-hole that owns Rumble is allowing for a break in the dam. And we need to find a way to repair these holes that have been placed in the dam, because right now it's chaos. And it's chaos directly as a result of the existence of new Twitter, or X, and Rumble. These are two of the biggest problems. That's the third. So white supremacy, COVID, and then number three is Russia. And number four is I don't know. It's hard to set numbers on these things. Anyway, so I agree. This is absolutely, parents for so long have been treating children like children. And the truth is that by 7 years old, they're pretty much adults. Um, they should have the option to do whatever they want. I think it's ridiculous. America's the only country that doesn't allow 18-year-olds to have a beer. And I think that other countries are also backwards, because at 7, if you should be able to choose what's for dinner, you should be able to choose what you wear, you should be able to choose your gender and whether or not you're taking whether you're receiving that gender affirming care. If you want the hormones, if you want the puberty blockers, you should not be at the mercy of nature. You should not be at the mercy of whatever, sort of fate has provided you. You should have the option to do what you want. And, I mean, we all were children. I remember how much I hated my parents telling me what to do. If I could go back and be like, no, I don't think so, Dad, I'm going to do what I want, I absolutely would. And I think the children of today would agree with me when I say that they're pretty sick and tired of the poor parenting they're receiving by lackluster American parents who try to impose rules and punishments and all these things. Let your children enjoy the world. You only have a certain amount of time here. And for you to be stepping on their dreams, especially at a young age, they could be much further ahead if you would just get out of the way and let the government parent your child. The other thing this is going to open up is, not only consumption of other substances that they want, they should be, if they can make these choices, we also should allow them to serve in the military. We should allow them to have coffee in the classroom. I mean, adults are depriving children of one of the best drugs that would help them learn. Caffeine, I'm addicted to it. Let children have access to it, because they're tired and they need energy too. You ever seen a kid at like 3 p.m. getting out of school, they're all, "Ooh, I'm tired," That wouldn't be the case with coffee. Hello. Coffee, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever they want. And we probably, if they might want to live on their own. So anyone above 7 but under 18 should receive some sort of universal basic income in case they do have disagreements with their parents. There's no reason that you should have to listen to some ass backwards old goat from another generation that has ignorant views until you're 18. That was maddening for me to have to listen to this old people that don't know what they're talking about. It's a new generation. It's a whole brave new world, and children shouldn't have adults holding them back. If you want progress, stop holding the children back. Um, yeah, doctors said that on the basis of human rights, youths have an inherent ability and right to consent to gender-affirming therapy. Um, for so long, the parental rights have trumped the rights of children, and children have never, been able to mobilize politically and push back on this and really hold adults accountable for the way that they treat children. They treat them like children, and it's ridiculous because at 7, you're definitely not a child anymore. Um, so the authors of this paper demanded the military train all its providers on their idea of gender medical interventions for minors, despite acknowledging that 53% of military affiliated physicians in the Department of Defense health system indicated they would refuse to prescribe hormones regardless of any training. So we can just get rid of those doctors. 53%, we can just hire people that are willing to be good people and to do what their country requires of them. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Is that a crazy concept? I mean, hello? Anybody there? Good God. Oh, and speaking of military, so this is also going to open up a whole new area of military recruiting. Um, thus far, it's been restricted to 18 plus, which, I mean, by the time you're 18, it's become much harder to learn. For instance, I was taught how to shoot a gun at a young age, and by opening up the military to 7-year-olds who can make medical decisions, who can move out of their parents' house, who have access to the medical system, but also access to recreational drugs, potentially mind expanding drugs, they should also be allowed to join the military if they would like, if they have that interest. School is great, but the military can teach you a lot more. You get to see the world. They they take care of everything that you need. You get housing. You get the mess hall feeds you. So I mean, it is turnkey. They could walk in there and be fully provided for. The military has training instead of classes. So if you are just kind of sick of school and you'd rather get in the program, they have plenty of schooling in the military. No need to wait. Just send them in. Um, and let's see. Prior research has found that children can begin participating in their medical decision making as early as age 7 years. Department of Defense doctors. See? And if there's anyone that you don't want to argue with, it is DoD doctors. Um, that's where the elite doctors go. The people that graduated bottom of their class, they're going to be working in surgery units at some of these private hospitals, but the top of their class is going to want the prestige of working at an organization as storied as the U.S. Pentagon. Um, some well-intentioned military-affiliated clinicians may not be aware that a watchful waiting approach has a different risk profile than a gender affirmative approach. So you want to affirm their decision because if you start undermining the decisions of children, they will start questioning themselves. And you do not want anyone to be asking questions or, losing confidence in what they've decided to do. Once someone makes a commitment to something, you should support them 100% and assist them in getting across the finish line, um, making sure that they are supported by the establishment. I mean, we should be supporting children, and instead everybody wants to control them. Doesn't that seem backwards to you? It's ridiculous. And there are some, ignorant perspectives. It seems like, I hate to talk bad about anybody, but it seems like the right-wing conservative type religious type people and some people, especially from the third world and some poorer countries that don't understand and haven't been informed, they also tend to disagree with some of these things. So it's really a shame, and hopefully in the next election, especially, hopefully we can get get rid of people that are thinking this way. This guy is a perfect example. The things he's doing in Florida, I mean, he's basically creating a new dark age in Florida, um, and it is really disheartening to see that that is the way that some people think that we should be operating. Um, yeah, this is just a duplicate. Um, but the other thing is, for anyone who's not who's thinking, oh, I don't know if children would really be good in a war zone. There's This is a clip from a Nicolas Cage movie, based on real events, I'm pretty sure. And so let's listen in to what they say
I can see what you are
about this
thinking,
topic.
but we need every man we can get.
Even if they're not men?
A bullet from a 14-year-old is just as effective as one from a 40-year-old.
If not more.
Often more effective.
Yeah. The enemy is oftentimes hesitant to return fire from children. Um, and I mean, look at that innocent face. I mean, it's an advantage to have children on the battlefield because, especially if you mix them in with adults, then it throws uncertainty into the mix, and the enemy, if they have any heart at all, suddenly has a, hesitation. Do, ooh, I don't know if I should shoot. So it gives us an advantage on the battlefield. Um, for so long, we have kept our children from experiencing the full world until they're adults and all this stuff. And there's a lot of backwards thinking in this country that's like, protect the children at all costs. It's like, this is how we get into this situation where everybody's not sure of what to do, doesn't have any confidence, is you have parents out there questioning the decisions of 7-year-olds, and that carries on into adulthood. They have to go get therapy. Therapist has to reorient them because their parents have got them so confused, saying, "Oh, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?" Stop asking your children if they're sure. If they tell you that they want to do something, let them do it. It's the only way to learn. Stop telling your child not to put their hand on a hot stove. Let them learn. Let them put their hand on the hot stove. Because I can tell you from experience that I didn't learn anything from the advice that I was given. I ignored all the adults because I was rebellious. And I did things I wanted to learn for myself. The only effective way to learn is the hard way. And anyone who says otherwise, just pure ignorance. You can just discount what they're saying altogether. I wouldn't even give them the time of day. So, I think that's it for today. Um, we have a lot more to get into, clearly, but let's save that for another video. Um, this is going to be a magical journey for both of us, and I'm excited to help try to get America back on the right foot and try to get rid of some of these religious zealots from another age. These right-wing conspiracy nuts that don't want to wear a mask. Some of them don't even believe objective reality. They think they're in a simulation. They think they're living on a flat Earth. They think there's a hollow Earth. There's a hole at the South Pole. That there's another elite race. I mean, these people, there's no limit. We come out and tell them what's going on, and they say, I don't think that's what's going on. It's like, what are you doing? We're telling you what's going on, and they want to question everything. It's like they're professional skeptics. And so all that's doing is just getting in the way of progress. Um, I wished at the same time we were bringing in migrants from other countries, I wish that we could send those people, hey, go find your own country. You know what I mean? Like, you want to live like it's 1850 or whatever. Um, Go do it on an island out in the Pacific. Go start your own nation. You're not welcome here. So kindly F off. We'll give you a boat. Here's a free sailboat. Just get out of here and never come back. So, anyway, you guys take care, and I'll see you again soon.